I don't have a driver's license. I don't have a bill under my name. It's under my parents' name. What do I do? Can you still register? Yes, you can. I myself transferred my registration from Makati to Ormoc City, Leyte. It took me 10 minutes.
Why do you think people should register?
If you do not vote, your voice will not matter as much. Voting is actually a form of empowerment. So that's a way of saying that I matter. My voice matters.
I'm voting for Scarlet's future. I have traveled the world and I really believe that there's no better place to live than in the Philippines. I also vote because I love my country. Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's make memories one episode at a time. And today is a very different kind of memory. I have a story to tell you. 41 years ago, when I was pregnant with Quark, we lived in Chicago because my ex-husband Atty had just graduated from Harvard and he got a job with the First National Bank of Chicago. And then I got pregnant, and when I was 4 months pregnant, I begged my ex-husband Atty if I could go back to the Philippines to give birth here. And he looked at me and he said, why are you giving birth in the Philippines when all your friends are coming to the States to give birth? And that was the time everybody would do that so that their children could petition them in 18 years to become American citizens. And my answer to Atom was, I want to give birth in the Philippines because I love the Philippines. I love my country and I want to put my money where my mouth is because I believe in 18 years, when Quark is 18 and can petition us, the Philippines will be greater. Such a great country. Better pa than the United States. Well, it's been 40 years and we haven't gotten there. But I have not lost hope. I think we can really do it. But in order to do it, we as a country, as Filipinos, have to work together to make our voices heard, to vote for the right people who are nationalistic, who love our country. And so this episode is going to be about how you can help decide that our leaders will be good, how you can register. Because honestly, in the last 2 months, I've been doing a survey asking all these young people, have you registered? Have you registered? And they said, yeah, I really want to register, but I don't know how, or I don't know when or what. Well, guys, September, it's going to be over. Registration is only till September. So today we have as our guest, former Commissioner of Comelec, Commissioner Goyo, and he will explain to us how easy it is to register and why we should register. Thank you, Goyo, for being here. He wants to be called Goyo, not Attorney Goyo, so which shows what a simple, humble person you are.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Hopefully, we get to share some information for your viewers to help them register as voters hopefully soon.
Okay, so let's talk first about new voters.
Okay.
So when you become a new voter, is it 18 or 21?
Okay, you can register as a voter as long as you are 18 on or before election day. So technically, if I'm 16 now, I can register because if my birthday is tomorrow, I turn 17 this year, and by next year, before May 9, 2022, I'll be 18. So I can register as a voter already. That's a common question we get. Can I register even if I'm not yet 18? Yes, you can. Yes, you should.
You should already.
You should.
Okay, and everybody knows it. So, can you walk us through the procedure? Like, let's say, so somebody like 16.
Yes.
How would she go to register? First, she has to go to...
There are 3 ways to register. The first one is the new way to register is you book online. You book an appointment online. So you go to iregister.comelec.gov.ph. You'll be directed to a portal wherein which you can set an appointment to register as a voter, or you can transfer registration. You can modify your voting records. You fill up the fields, say your name, address, birthday, etc. Then at the bottom of the page, they will ask, where are you a resident of? What municipality or city? Then you can book an online appointment for that Comelec office at a specific day and a specific time. Once you're through with all those, you print out 3 copies of the form, legal size, back to back. So that's 8.5 by 13. Don't affix your signature. Don't put your thumbprint. Then you go to the Comelec office on the particular day and time of your appointment. The second one is you just download the form. You print it at home. You fill up all the fields in the application form, including the health declaration form. So there's 2 forms. Then you bring it to the Comelec office, even without appointment. Then they will accommodate you. But there's a line. There's already a line when you go there because walang...
So the first way, walang line?
Walang line
Kasi
because
may appointment ka
may appointment
on a specific date.
The third one is you, for example, you wake up in the morning and if like a Monday, you wake up in Monday and say, I want to register. You can go directly to the Comelec office in the city or municipality you live in and you can apply as a registered voter. In those 3 instances, there are things in common. First is you really have to go to the Comelec office.
There's no avoiding that. The
There's
only
no
difference is may line, walang line.
Yes, you have to go to the Comelec office. Some people ask, can you do online registration? No. Why? Because the law specifies that you cannot do online registration. You have to go to the Comelec office. That's the law. Another reason why you should go to the Comelec office is to verify your identification. Because if you do online, knowing how people do things, you can easily assume the identity of another person. All 3 instances, you have to go to the Comelec office. The next question is, what do I have to bring to be a registered voter, to apply as a registered voter? Well, there are basically 2 documents. The first is a government-issued ID with your picture and address on the ID. The second is a proof of residence, which is a billing statement. So, the government ID, a postal ID, a driver's license. The passport, you can use a passport. But since the passport does not have your address on the document, you have to bring another document to prove that you reside in that residence.
So medyo useless na lang. Wag mo na ilabas yung passport mo, baka mawala pa.
Ako yung driver's license. Most common document they bring are utility bills. For example, water, light, internet bill. So those are the documents.
Okay.
The question now, a lot of people, the young people ask is, I'm 18. I don't have a driver's license. I don't have a bill under my name. It's under my parents' name. What do I do? Can you still register? Yes, you can. As long as there's a way to prove that you are that person residing at residence. The common step they do, or the common method they do, if they don't have government-issued IDs, is they bring their parents with them.
No, cute naman. And the parents bring their bill or something.
The parents bring the bill. The parents normally bring a birth certificate. Hey, this is my daughter, this is my son, and this is where we live. This is proof of our residence. And I'm attesting to this guy is my son. We look like brothers and sisters, but he's my kid.
No.
So, diba? So, there are ways around it that even if you don't have the documents, what's important is you can prove the identification of the person and you can prove that that person resides in that city or municipality. Now, the requirement is that you have to be a resident of the city or municipality 6 months before election day.
Okay.
A lot of people ask, hey, can I just transfer to the municipality or city? Can I register already as a voter? Yes, you can, because the point of reckoning is not from the date of registration, but the date of elections. And we are at least 1 year out from the election day.
Kunyari, I register, I've only been there a month, I register. Do I have to prove na naman something during election day? No, okay na yun.
Kasi when you register, they get your biometrics, they get your signature, you get your thumbprint, then they take your picture.
Okay.
On election day, you don't even need an ID. Because on election day, when you go to the voting center, when you go to the polling precinct, the electoral board or the teacher, the BI, they have such a document as the EDCVL, Election Day CVL. In the Election Day CVL, your picture is there in the document. So, they can identify you. Some people bring an ID just in case somebody questions, but generally, when I vote, I don't bring an ID.
Okay, my question is, because last presidential election, we voted here in
2016.
Yes. So, my ex-husband Adam, we're very close friends by the way, and my son Pork, who had registered, were not on the list.
Okay.
So they weren't able to vote. How does that happen?
Okay. On election day, there are 2 documents. Voters list. The posted voters list is the document posted outside the door of the classroom. Normally, that's what you see. My name is there, I can go in. my name is not there. But if you voted in that clustered precinct in the previous election, generally your name should be there. If it's not outside, you can ask the electoral board inside, hey, can you check if my name is still there? Because it has happened in the past, in several instances, wala yung pangalan mo sa labas, pero nandun sa loob.
So we didn't do that. We just saw that their names were not there. And you're going, how come we can't vote? And actually, sometimes the Comelec people didn't naman teach us that we can ask inside.
Yeah.
So my question is, do these two guys have to register again now?
Yes, they do. Because the rule is, if you fail to vote in 2 successive elections, you'll be deactivated. And the last 2 elections, this includes barangay and midterm elections.
Okay, so si Hayden naman voted in Marinduque
Okay.
before. So now he's in Dasma. He has to register here.
Yes.
But he voted there last time. So, I mean, like, remember before flying voter. Baka you'll be accused of being like...
What you do is, you can either do 3 of the steps to register, but your application will be transfer of your registration records to a new city, municipality, or province. So pwede yan. You just go to the Comelec office in Makati, then you show your identification, and then you show your proof of billing, tell them, I want to transfer my registration. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
And then they automatically cancel.
It cancels out na. It cancels out na your previous registration.
It sounds a bit complicated. Is it just because of the way you make kwento that it's long process, but it's not long? Or how long does it take to do this whole thing?
I myself transferred my registration from Makati to Ormoc City, Leyte. Just 2 months ago. It took me 10 minutes.
Ah, okay.
10 minutes. When I went to the Comelec office, kasi naka-appointment ako, it took me 10 minutes to have my picture taken, they take my thumbprint, and I signed, and it's done.
Okay, good. So, what do you recommend of the 3 methods that you were talking about before?
My recommendation is, if you decide to go to the Comelec office, bring your documents na. Bring the 2 documents. Then, kung walang pila, diretso ka na, you fill out, then register. Then the second one is, kung may pila, you ask them, pwede ba magpa-appointment? Di na online. I have my documents already. Generally, they'll say, okay, go back on this day. Then you go back and register.
Why do you think people should register?
Everybody's on social media, and almost every day you see people arguing about politics. But social media activism is good. But the best way to affect the future of not only you, but your loved ones in the city, municipality, or province, or even the country, is by participating in the electoral process. Your voting is you telling the world, hey, I have a say in where the future of the country is headed. You can rant and you can complain and you can fight with people in online or in the park or in the supermarket, but if you do not vote, your voice will not matter as much, because voting is your way of ensuring that people you think are qualified and deserve to occupy that elective office should win and sit either 3 or 6 years, especially for the youth voters. A lot of the youth voters, 18 to 29, they feel that they don't have a voice. If they say something, people older than them say, stop it, don't say anything because we know better than you. Voting is actually a form of empowerment. Voting is them telling the world, I may be young, but my voice, my vote, is the same vote as a 70-year-old, a billionaire. I can be dirt poor, I can be young, but my vote, my ballot, I have the same vote as a billionaire. It's one person, one vote. So that's a way of saying that I matter, my voice matters.
Well, my opinion naman when it comes to that, Goyo, is that I'm voting for Scarlet's future. I have traveled the world and I really believe that there's no better place to live than in the Philippines. I also vote because I love my country, and you guys, a lot of people complain when I talk to people, but then when I ask them if they voted, they don't. They didn't vote. And I feel that if you didn't vote, then you have no right to complain. It's a small thing to do for your country. It's relatively easy. It's definitely free. Let's really be part of the solution and not the problem, right?
Exactly.
So, yes, and if we all think like this, then we will really make a change for the best. Okay, there's a funny question somebody was asking me. One of my patients, she said, you know, Dr. Bella, I've had so many things done that I don't think I look the same as my driver's license. So, you know, she had her eyes done, she had her nose done. She goes, baka mamaya they will say I'm not the person voting. I mean, so is this a funny question, or does this have any in reality?
The best way to do that is just bring her driver's license with her when she goes to vote.
Her driver's license?
Yes, just to be sure. There might be a person na she had the long hair. She had long hair before, now wala na. She, even not only when you redo your nose, but maybe you beefed up, or you grew fat, or you grew thin. As a matter of precaution, people tend to bring a ID with a picture lang, just in case somebody asks. But that shouldn't be a hindrance for you to vote.
Yeah, but just bring it just to be sure, right?
Exactly. But you know what you mentioned kanina was very important, about you voting for Scarlet, because that's what we should view this. How we should view this. You're not voting for yourself, because tayo naman, sometimes you say, I'm okay.
Tayo yun, matanda. Well, I'm matanda. I don't know about you. How old are you now?
49.
Oh, you're still young.
Okay. But I don't have that many years left. Means compared to an 18-year-old. Ako, I vote not for myself, but for my family, my kid, my nephews, my nieces. Because even if I feel that I can live with life now, you know, may konting hardships, but I want a better life for them. Like, you want a better life for Scarlet, a better environment for her, you want a better government. And if you do it for people you love, it becomes a selfless act already, and you're voting not for yourself, but for your loved one. It becomes bigger than just you voting. It becomes you wanting a better future for the generations after us.
I love the way you said that. So, and I hope you guys think about it, because really we are voting for the future, for our children,
Yes.
for our grandchildren.
For our grandchildren. And by the way, again, if you register now, registration days, it might change, but it's Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
So no Friday pala.
No Friday. That changes sometimes, but generally the rule is it's Monday to Thursday. That may change. I would suggest they go to the Comelec office website, comelec.gov.ph, or generally the Comelec offices in the different cities and municipalities have a Facebook page. Just Google it and search it, and they normally have announcements there.
So our typographical errors, for example, the clerk made a mistake in the spelling of your name. Like in my name, I'm Gonzalez, double Zeta, from Cebu.
Yes.
But they spelled it Gonzalez with an S. Does that matter?
Well, you were able to vote in the last elections.
Right.
So, it doesn't matter. You can the important thing is you'll be able, the electoral board will be able to identify you as the same voter in the EDCVL.
Any other messages, last things to inspire them to go and register?
You want to change some things now. You want to put in people who you believe are qualified. You want to change policies. The best way is to involve yourself in the electoral process. Your future, your vote. If you don't exercise your right to vote, you're giving up the opportunity to make a change that you want in this country.
Well, thank you so much, Goyo, for being here and for clarifying everything. Hopefully we plan to go with Quark and Atom and Hayden to register, including me, and maybe a new voter, so they can see the experience firsthand.
It is. It's easy. It's easy.
It's easy, and we can make a difference. That's it. We decide who we want to have as our president. And the next election is very, very important, right?
Exactly.
So guys, please make a little sacrifice for your country, for the future of our beautiful Philippines, and for your children and your family. Take care, everyone. God bless.